So this is your coffee shop?
Yes, yeah.
This is your neighborhood?
It is.
Did you grow up around here?
I grew up just about 5 streets this way. And yeah, this is my neighborhood. My business is across the street. So this is the place to be.
You have an iced coffee.
I do, just cream.
Year-round iced coffee girl?
No, I like a hot coffee. I actually start most days with hot coffee at home.
Mm-hmm. So why are you running for mayor?
It's the place I love. It's the place I call home. It's the place I'll always be, and I want to lead it, especially through this, difficult and challenging time, but also a time of great promise and opportunity and really hopefulness for the future. When we think about our children, when we think about our families, when we think about our older Bostonians, when we think about those that are building businesses here in this city and looking forward to that bright future, I want to lead Boston during this incredible time and difficult time, but really I think an awesome time when we think about the future of this city.
Let's talk about the pool of candidates. Most diverse ever in the city. Do you ever kind of take stock in that in and of itself, this race is historic?
Yeah, no, I take stock in it every single day. And I actually think very often about my dad. When I was a high school student, I became politically engaged. And so I expressed an interest to my dad about running for office someday. I actually had an argument with an elected official as a young kid. And so came home and said to my dad, someday I'm going to run, and actually said run for mayor for Boston someday. And he said an Arab girl with an Arab name will win nothing in this city. And so I think about that often. I think about, how much Boston has changed and how we have an opportunity today, when we look at this diverse field, to really change what leadership looks like in this city.
So what is the biggest challenge you think you would face day one on the job?
Well, there'll be, I think, several challenges for sure. And for me as a former teacher, as someone who spent 13 years in the classroom, our schools right now, but for too many of our kids, for too many of our families, for too many of our school communities, we've continued to fail our kids. Not, really focused on rigorous academic curriculum, not focused on really wrapping around kids with the social and emotional challenges and difficulties that they're having, and wrapping around with the right supports. When our kids return to school fully in September, we're going to see play out a mental health crisis and the chaos and the uncertainty and the adversity that our kids in particular have faced over this last year and a half, and their families have faced. We're going to see that play out in our classrooms across our city. And I'm prepared to deal with that. I'm ready to do that work. I've been leading on it on the city council, and will continue to do that as mayor.
A recent poll, I think it said Bostonians were most concerned about affordable housing.
Yeah.
The housing market everywhere feels like a runaway train. How do you stop it?
Yeah, no, and that also has impacted our kids. Housing instability, homelessness, and I've led on the issue of family homelessness in particular. We have a real need to create more affordable, truly affordable housing, especially for our sort of the middle. We know in Boston, we're taking care of that luxury market. That is not an issue. But when we look at the middle, when we look at families across our city, when we look at some of our older Bostonians who want to remain in our city, when we look at young people, we have to create opportunities for affordable rental and for opportunities to buy. And I think that there is a huge missing piece when we think about what's happening in our housing industry. And as mayor, for me, an incredible focus has to be on creating ownership opportunities in our house.
Is there something you'd want people to know about you that you don't think they do know?
People don't realize I have triplets. I say, they go, how old are your kids? And I say, well, my oldest is 16, and then my triplets are, and they go, you have triplets? I go, yeah, I have triplets. So we've got a lively, busy house. I get the question sometimes, what do the kids think about this race and me running for mayor, their mother running for mayor? They don't really care that much. They're just sort of like, they're into their own sort of thing. They're pretty competitive. So they're certainly engaged in this idea about winning. And, I've always said to them, in our lives, we don't raise spectators. If you're going to get involved in something, be involved in it. We're not going to be on the sidelines.
Councilor Essaibi George.
Annissa works.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.